Attention all the student of 6th semester electrical for the subject installation, maintenance and testing, in which last but one topic, testing of relay and circuit breaker. So testing of relay and circuit breaker, in which three types of test required. One is the factory test, where relays or breaker are manufactured. Second is the type test. It is after releasing from factory. Type test is to be conducted. Then third is the commissioning test, that is at the place where relay or breaker are to be commissioned. So first of all, I will take this relay testing to be done before its commissioning. Normally in our substations from 33 by 11 kV to 400 by 220 kV, we use electromagnetic induction relay. So they are induction disc relay normally used. So at the factory, when relay are manufactured, then the tests are done for its operating time, and whatever plug settings are there according to current rating, they are properly tested for their time period of operation for different plug setting, and total time we have to calculate that from occurrence of the fault and to the clearance of the fault. What is the time calculation is there according to theory, and on the basis of that the relay is designed for operation of plug setting. Plug setting is done different ampere current. There are different coils are there which are having different value of current carrying capacity, and according to ampere turns produced in that particular plug setting, according to that the disc will move and it will contact the auxiliary contact circuit P1 and P2. So in the factory test, normally these tests are carried out, in which they will find out the plug setting, and according to a particular plug setting, how many turns, ampere turns are to be given to the coil, so that the time period for operation of the relay can be designed according to that particular type of plug setting. So there are different slots are given in the back side of the relay, and we can put number of plugs setting slots from 1 to 10 depending upon different time limit at which a relay you want to get operated, and testing for all these slots by putting the plug inside it and creating an artificial fault in the system, and we calculate the time period of its operation. At the same time, there is a flag given at the back side of the relay. So as soon as the relay operating time finish and contact P1 and P2 come in contact to operate or to actuate the auxiliary circuit, the flag is down. So this test should be done that flag is properly working or not. All the plug setting given on the back side of the relay, they are operating on their proper value for which they are designed for proper time of operation. They are operating or not. These tests are carried out in the circuit at the factory itself when relay is manufactured, and balancing of all the parts are also done at the factory test. Now second test is the type test. In type test we have to find out the relay application in which different type of relay used for different types of purpose, in which the relay they are taken for different type of relay. Say for example, differential relay, impedance relay, overcurrent relay, instantaneous relay, time relay, static relay, fault clearing time, and relay time. So these are conditions coming under the type test, in which we have to select the type of relay to be operated for a particular type of fault. In all these case, maximum we use differential relay and overcurrent relay in the substation. For the transformer protection and feeder protection, we use distance relay or impedance relay. So type of relay, their operations are according to their type in which they have to use, and according to that we find out the operation of impedance relay, overcurrent relay, earth fault relay, and instantaneous relay. So these will be all the coming under type test. And in type test we just artificially create the fault condition and find out the time of operation and maximum fault current in the case, and according to that type test is carried out on the relay. Third test is the commissioning test, which is when put the relay in the relay panel. At that time certain precautions are to be taken. They are taken by testing of relay at the time of commissioning. So at commissioning test we have to see whether relay is perfectly housed in a slot or not. That is one thing. Second, all the contacts of the relay, they are properly tighted or not. The auxiliary circuit to CT and relay are properly connected or not. Then movement of the disc, it is balanced or not. If the position of relay commission is not properly balanced, then the relay disc which move at the time of fault, it will take more time to connect auxiliary contact P1 and P2. So vertical and horizontal setting of the relay in the panel, it is to be done at the time of commissioning test. So these are all the type of tests which are applicable for different type of relay. Mostly in the substations we are use electromagnetic induction relay, and they are work on the principle of ampere turns, that is force produced to drive the particular disc, or if it is induction cup relay, then drive up that cup. And time should be measured, that for starting current, starting time of the relay from where the coil start moving, disc start moving, and reaching time up to the auxiliary contact P1, P2. So that is called relay operating time. Total relay operating time is designed according to different type of application, and setting is done according to this particular type of application of the relay. The basic circuit for the relay I am giving here. You see, this is the basic circuit of the relay. Testing is used for testing of the relay at the factory also and at the type test also. So this is the relay in which it is connected to circuit breaker. This is the tripping coil of the circuit breaker. When fault is occur, current transformer sends that particular fault current, and this is given to the coil of the relay. The CT connection are given to the relay coil. CT connections are given to relay coil, and that relay coil will energize and attract this plunger to downward, and then what happened, these 2 point P1 P2 are shorted by this plunger and the auxiliary circuit come in operation, and these batteries which are connected in the auxiliary circuit, this provides supply to the tripping coil of the circuit breaker. This coil is called tripping coil of the circuit breaker, and according to the time setting or plug setting, this particular relay is operated in that time, and breaker is open under the fault condition. Under the normal condition, these 2 point P1 P2 they are separated, they are not attached, and when as soon as fault occur, the current sent by the CT sent to the relay coil. Relay coil will attract this plunger, and this will short point P1 P2. So the auxiliary circuit supply 110 volt supply normally is there in this particular DC supply. This will operate the tripping coil of the circuit breaker. That is called tripping coil, TC. This is so TC will operate the breaker to move the moving contact away from the fixed contact, and circuit is open. So for all the calculation of time according to design of the relay, all the tests done in these 3 tests: factory test, type test and commissioning test. So according to type of relay, these tests are conducted in the different type of relay for their satisfactory operation in the circuit, so that there will be no problem when actual work is taking place by this relay. After installation in the substation control panels, the relays are tested like this. So these are the relay testing. According to the maintenance point of view, there are routine maintenance of relay can be done by daily checking their connection at the different points, cleaning of dust from the relay, then cleaning of dust from the flag of the relay, then cleaning of the slots of the plug setting sections, and check all the internal connection of the relay under routine test. So this routine test normally carried out daily, 24 hours one time you should check all these. Otherwise what happen, fault can be occur at any time, and if some mistake is there in the relay, properly not maintained, and some component of the relay does not operate, then the fault will create a big problem for the system. So in routine test of the relay, we have to check their connections, their tightness of the terminals, dust cleaning should be there, otherwise this will also obstruct the part of current flow. So these are the common tests we are routinely done on the relay after the commissioning in the relay panel. So this is all about the relay testing, in which these 3 testings are there, and what are the activities done in this testing I have explained you. Now same type of operations are to be done for the circuit breaker. Circuit breaker, we have to first decide the type of circuit breaker. There are many type of circuit breakers used in different voltage range. So 33 by 11 kV substation, they are used bulk coil circuit breaker. 220 kV 132 kV system, we use minimum oil circuit breaker and SF6 circuit breaker. In 400 kV system, we use air blast circuit breaker. In 33 kV system, we also use vacuum circuit breaker. So here the 3 tests again applied for the circuit breaker also. In the factory test, we have to see the moving contact and fixed contact position, contact resistance measured by the milliohm meter, and contact strips are properly designed and they should be in proper position. Then movement of the moving contact of the circuit breaker, it is checked in the factory by applying certain current to the tripping coil of the breaker, and the circuit what I have shown just now, the same type of circuit is used for the breaker, and we find out their time of operation for moving contact, moving from fixed contact to open the breaker, and after clearance of fault, the resetting time of the moving contact to fixed contact, it is also measured in the factory test. Then in type test we have to check the different type of arcing media which is used for the circuit breaker, their position. Suppose you are using bulk oil, so you have to check the bulk oil position in the bulk oil circuit breaker. And if you are using air blast or SF6 breaker, then you have to measure the pressure of the air or gas inside the cylinder which is attached to the control blast unit. So that value given according to design, normally 13 kg per centimeter square pressure is required in the SF6 breaker, and about 20 kg per centimeter square pressure required in air blast circuit breaker. So these are calculated, and according to that in the type test we have to find out their operations according to this limit and their position of the arcing media. Arcing media are properly working or not, or they are at proper value or not, this is to be checked. Then when we come to the commissioning test of the breakers, then we have to commission the breaker on the steel structure or cement structure. So we check their position of oil level in the bushings and position of bushings, then different type of lugs which are used for connection of the ACSR conductor with the relay. So we have to check the all type of connections which are made at the site in the time when at the time of commissioning of the relay breaker. So all the tests carried out here at the substation at the time of commissioning. So mainly the connections part, that relay coils, breakers contact auxiliary circuit of the contact of the relay for operation of the breaker, that should be checked there, that whatever tripping coil of the circuit breaker and operating mechanism of circuit breaker tripping coil, it is properly operating or not in the time limit as set by the relay setting. So these all the position of the breakers in the yard of the substation, we have to see their perfect vertical position to be for installation and commissioning. Check the proper stress or tension given in the conductor which is connected to the terminal of the breakers. They should be properly maintained, otherwise what happens due to mechanical stress, the contacts are damaged and relay will breaker will not operate according to its design value, and there will be some type of problems occur in the yard. In the short circuit may be taken, connection may be open. These are the conditions occur in the substation if this type of commissioning test you are not performing on the breaker. So breaker of any type, whether it is a vacuum circuit breaker for 33 kV, bulk oil circuit breaker for 33 kV, and 132 kV if you are using SF6 breaker, or minimum oil circuit breaker, then you have to use all these type of commissioning tests to find out their satisfactory operation in the yard or at the time of practical fault occur in the system. So actual fault occur in the system. So these are the values or the testing of the relay and breakers to be done from maintenance point of view. Secondly, in routine maintenance of the relay, we have to go for their testing of the contact resistance with the help of milliohm meter or other equipment provide for that. We have to check the movement of the moving coil of the breaker or moving mechanism of the breaker from the tripping coil which is connected from tripping coil. Then we see that the breaker contact operation period is proper or not. The movement of moving contact from fixed contact is fixed according to the factory test. It is operating in that limit or not. This should be once checked by creating artificial fault in the system and check these values whatever given in the technical details of the relay at the time of factory test. So whatever technical details of the relay given, they should be tested at the time of commissioning of the breaker whenever it is installed in the substation. So relay and breaker both are complement of each other, means without relay breaker is not operated. Breaker is a complement part of the relay. So whenever I talk relay, breaker term may also come, and whenever I talk relay breaker, then relay term also come, because they are conjugate of each other. Without operation of the relay, breaker cannot be operated. Associated circuit are there, that is called the auxiliary circuit. Auxiliary circuit will provide the voltage required for operation of the tripping coil of the circuit breaker. Whatever mechanism is there, it is tested in the factory, and according to that it is provided in the technical literature of the breaker which is supplied to the consumer. So these are all about the type test, factory test and commissioning test of the different type of relay and breakers. So this point in the topic number last but one, in installation maintenance, this is I have covered with the number of tests given for this. Now in the detailed study of the each type of relay or each type of breaker, it is given in the books of Sunil S. Rao. You can take that book from which detail means whatever I speak in short, it is elaborated in that particular book. So you can also read the type test, factory test and commissioning test from the book also. But what type of activity takes place in these three tests, that I have explained you. And when you actually study the diagram which you have already done in power system operation and protection subject in last semester, all type of relay diagrams you have studied, and types of relay you have studied, then types of breaker also studied. Here only from maintenance point of view, what type of testing is required, it is to be done in the relay and breaker before their installation in the actual practice substations. Either in the control room, the relay are to be commissioned in the chip panel of the relay, and breakers they are installed in the yard, and their connections are proper according to the basic circuit which I have given in this particular form, which you again see. Breaker is there, CT is there, relay is there, tripping coil of breaker is there, auxiliary circuit is there. So all testing should be done according to this circuit. And in case of impedance relay, along with CT, the PT is also connected with the relay terminals, so that time of operation of an impedance relay according to the distance of the fault, that can be determined by the ratio of V upon I, that is equal to Z, and Z is calibrated in terms of length because R is equal to rho L upon A. So Z is also depend on the distance of the line. So we have to calculate for different settings that the relay is set for different zone of protection. Normally there are 3 zone of protection between two substation and first zone from A, then middle zone, and the third zone, this is on the side of substation B. So for different zone operation you have to calibrate the impedance of the line and calibrate it in terms of V upon I ratio that is obtained from the potential transformer and current transformer at the time of fault. So according to this calibration done for V upon I ratio equal to Z proportional to the length of the line, so you can clearly mention for the different type of zone fault, and whatever zone fault is occur, the flag of that particular relay is dropped and you can identify that fault occur in that zone. So according to that the maintenance activity carried out according to type of fault, where they are temporary fault or permanent fault. So you identified according to the relay tripping time and its tripping of the relay. If it is in one shot you reset the relay and system become normal, then it is a temporary fault. And if you try 3 times for resetting of the relay for the clearance after the clearance of fault, then if it is not holds, then it is declared that the fault is not a self-clearing fault. There is a permanent fault and you have to send the gang for patrolling to the feeders where fault is occur, and according to that you also visit in the yard of the substation where you have to see that which type of fault occur, and you rectify that fault and then you charge the relay. So relay tripping depends upon 2 type of fault, temporary fault and permanent fault. In temporary fault, when relay trip and we reset it again, the system become normal. And if it is a permanent type of fault, even after resetting of relay 3 times, the system become not normal and breaker trip again and again. So you declare it that it is a permanent fault. So in relay and breaker testing, normally you have to go for their routine maintenance testing, in which I have told you, check the connection, check the terminal, clean the dust in the contact chamber, or measure the ohmic value of the contact resistance, movement of the tripping coil circuit, and operation of the tripping coil circuit of the breaker, and position of the battery voltage in the auxiliary supply circuit, the proper voltage you are obtaining or not. So all this type of testing, it is to be done for the relay and breakers, and they are coming or the classified in broad heading: factory test, type test and commissioning test. In all these tests, all these particular activities carried out, and you have to complete this. So normally in exam question is asked like that: what type of tests are performed in the relay and how they perform. So whatever I have given in this lecture, you form the notes on the basis of this, and whenever you write the short note on this, sometimes short note also ask on the type test and commissioning test or the factory test of the relay. So whatever I have given in my lecture, you have to just note it down on your notebook and practice it for understanding. And if you face any difficulty in understanding of the lecture which I have given, so you can ask me. So this is finish your this particular topic number, I think 8 number topic, because there are total either 9 or 11 topic is there, so the last but one topic. The last topic which I have will be discussed, that is hotline maintenance. So hotline maintenance topic I will take next time. This is for today, for testing of relay and circuit breaker, and different type of test perform on that, different type of contact I have given, different type of points are given for the testing of the relay and circuit breaker, and I have also given the basic circuit for testing of the relay and breakers. So this is all for today. Thank you very much.